gentlemen, let's get back to class here. A conservative manifesto. And by the way, we're trying to figure out how to link to these on the Mark Levin show. We'll eventually get them up there. I went through the first 5. Now the last 5. Number 6, immigration. Eliminate chain migration, which grants control over immigration policy to aliens and foreign governments, and which the statist defends to expand his electoral and administrative state constituency. Secure the nation's borders and discourage those who violate them, illegal alien and citizen lawbreaker alike, by enforcing the immigration laws. End multiculturalism, diversity, and bilingualism in public institutions, which beget poverty, animosity, and ethnic balkanization. Promote assimilation and unity of citizenship, allegiance to America's culture, and English as the official national language. Ladies and gentlemen, if we don't do these simple things, simple in terms of theory, simple in terms of philosophy, difficult in terms of politics, if we don't do them, we will cease to exist. It's that simple. And it won't happen overnight. It'll take 80 years to do these things, but we do them. Conservative Manifesto, number 7, entitlements. Remember, I wrote this, actually started it several years ago, finished it in December. Social Security is going bankrupt. Medicare is going bankrupt. Medicaid is going bankrupt. These programs and others have accumulated more than $50 trillion in IOUs due and payable by subsequent generations. Educate the young people about the intergenerational trap the status has laid for them, which will steal their liberty, labor, opportunities, and wealth, and build a future electoral force for whom the elixir of entitlements is understood as poisonous snake oil. These programs were created in politics, and they must be addressed in politics. Only in this way can they be contained, limited, and reformed. Fight all efforts to nationalize the healthcare system. National health care is the mother of all entitlement programs, for through it the statist controls not only the material wealth of the individual, but his physical well-being. Remind the people that politicians and bureaucrats, about whom they are already cynical, will ultimately have the final say over their choice of doctors, hospitals, and treatments, meaning the very system will be politicized and bureaucratized. Remind the people that this human experiment has been tried and failed in places like Britain and Canada, where patients have been subjected to arbitrary treatment decisions, long waiting periods for life-saving surgeries, antiquated medical technologies, the denial of high-cost pharmaceuticals available elsewhere, and the inefficient rationing of health care generally. And remind them that despite past utopian promises, the status rarely delivers. Conservative Manifesto number 8, Foreign Policy and Security. Ensure that all foreign policy decisions are made for the purpose of preserving and improving American society. And let me say this, that is not what's going on in this country today. This president does not look at America and say, how do I secure America? He looks at America as an imperial power, as a nation, rather than doing good for mankind, has harmed mankind. He resents our history, our traditions, and our customs, and he resents you. But the purpose of our foreign policy and security, yes, is to preserve and improve our society. Reject all treaties, entanglements, institutions, and enterprises that have as their purpose the supplantation of America's best interests, including its physical, cultural, economic, and military sovereignty, to an amorphous global interest. Ensure that America remains the world's superpower. Ensure that at all times America's military forces are prepared for war, to dissuade attacks, encourage peace, and if necessary, win any war. Conservative Manifesto number 9, Faith. Oppose all efforts to denude the nation of its founding justification. That is, God-given unalienable natural rights that the government can neither confer on the individual nor deny to him. The statist seeks the authority to do both, which explains his contempt for or misuse of faith. Moreover, faith provides the moral order that ties one generation to the next, and without which the civil society simply cannot survive. And then on my list of the Conservative Manifesto, number 10, the Constitution. Demand that all public servants, elected or appointed, at all times uphold the Constitution and justify their public acts under the Constitution. Oppose all efforts to quote-unquote constitutionalize the statist agenda. Eliminate limits on the rationing of political free speech through unconstitutional campaign finance laws, which benefit incumbent politicians, the media, unions, and other state-related groups. Any American citizen or group of American citizens must be free to contribute to candidates as they wish, as long as the source, amount, and recipient of the contributions are made known. Defeat all efforts to unconstitutionally regulate the content of political speech on broadcast outlets such as radio. The statist now seeks to consolidate the power he has accumulated by silencing non-compliant voices through a variety of schemes that would regulate broadcast content. As I said, this was started several years ago, finished on December 31st. A few weeks of editing, and I think you'll agree that it encompasses exactly what's going on today. And then I end the manifesto as follows. You've heard me read this before. You've actually heard me play the audio. President Reagan said, quote, "Freedom is never more than one generation away from extinction. We didn't pass it to our children in the bloodstream. It must be fought for, protected, and handed on for them to do the same. But one day we will spend our sunset years telling our children and our children's children what it was once like in the United States of America, where men were free," unquote. And the very last sentence in the book, in the last chapter, the Conservative Manifesto, we conservatives need to get busy.